Bragg is back. We've been talking about this pretty much all day. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth renamed North Carolina's Fort Liberty back to Fort Bragg. And I got to tell you, the story did surprise me a little bit when it popped up on the news feed. Not because of the name or any of the controversies or any of that stuff, but because of the cost. President Trump's administration and his Department of Government Efficiency have been all about slashing federal spending. So why are they gearing up to spend millions of dollars to rename an Army base again? It was originally named for this guy, Confederate General Braxton Bragg. After the pandemic, though, when our country went through the biggest social movement since the 1960s, the DoD decided to rename bases named after Confederate leaders. So people in Fayetteville and Gold Star families and military leaders, they all came together and they came up with Fort Liberty, and the change was made. Now fast forward to this week. Hegseth pulled out the Uno reverse card with an interesting compromise. The new Fort Bragg wouldn't be named after someone in the Confederacy. It would be named after this guy, Private First Class Roland L. Bragg, a seemingly top-notch man, American and soldier. He served at the base during World War II in the 18th Airborne Corps. He earned a Silver Star and a Purple Heart. And again, his name is Bragg. Same name as before, but with a different history attached this time. Obviously, this is huge news, a gigantic moment for his family, which is why we were a bit surprised today when we actually learned that they knew nothing about it. In fact, it was our reporter, Sean Gallagher, who broke the news to them. Here's a bit of that phone call.
I'm very surprised this morning, but I think it's great. I mean, he is genuine. I mean, he was a decorated World War II veteran, European theater, who saw considerable action and trained at Fort Bragg.
Be quite an interesting phone call to get, don't you think? Obviously, Roland Bragg is worthy of recognition for his service and sacrifice. Unfortunately, that honor is going to cost taxpayers millions of dollars. When they changed the name to Fort Liberty, it cost about $8 million to do that. They changed the names of the area there, the buildings, the road signs. They reworked websites, that sort of stuff. Local businesses were pretty worried what else would change, like Bragg Boulevard and what that would all entail. And now it looks like all of that work will be redone, and we will have to spend the millions again. If only someone could have come up with this different Bragg idea a bit earlier, we could have saved a bunch of money. Oh, wait.
They found a Yankee with the last name of Bragg, switch it over and save all that money. Because the whole community, everything's Bragg.
All right, that was about 3 years ago, and he wasn't the only one to bring it up. The president of the Cumberland County Veterans Council brought up that idea too back in 2022 when they were trying to figure out a new name. He suggested yet another different soldier by the name of Bragg, Edward Bragg, somebody who was serving in the Union Army during the Civil War. In fact, Edward Bragg was on a short list of 5 Braggs worthy of having a base named after them, including Roland. Look, no matter which Bragg you choose, we are going to be blowing through a lot of money to kind of get back to square one. So politics aside, if you just look at the numbers, it is wasteful. It's hard to argue against that. But this money is clearly about more than numbers, isn't it? All this to say, this entire story is great for perspective and how we think about wasteful spending. When it comes to your tax dollars, it's really easy to call something frivolous or wasteful until it's something that you care about. Just something to consider, I think, as cuts are made and dollars are spent.